Morning, MGTOW. We live in a world that is not of our making. The womanist fight for superiority has made being a man a handicap. Doors opened for women and minorities are shut for those who display too much masculinity. Rules and regulations are designed to put us at a disadvantage and give others a leg up. All this, compounded with the ridiculous standards women have now, can cause a man to question his very existence. Well, that's why I'm here, so you know that you're not alone. Let's check this article out. It's from Opinion Columns, National View. Men are dying from a lack of attention. A society that doesn't provide safety nets for all of its troubled children, regardless of gender, is a society headed for extinction. Now, you see the cartoon here. It's full of symbolism, and it also depicts the now infamous slap, which this is the first time I've mentioned it on this channel, and it'll be the last time, but there's a lot of symbolism in this picture. This is by Christine Flower. She writes, "Recently, a friend showed me a sobering graphic depicting the gender disparity in suicide rates between men and women. While females tend to attempt suicide more often than men and experience suicidal thoughts more frequently, males are more successful in completing the act. There are a lot of reasons for this striking difference along gender lines, but one thing is clear. Men are in crisis mode, and that crisis starts from early adolescence and carries all the way through to old age." Now, we've talked about the numbers and how men lead in suicide rates, but are men really in crisis mode? Are men depressed and in pain? Well, I'm no psychiatrist, but judging from the ones I've talked to, most men are not happy, and some are pissed. I remember the disturbing trend of sitcoms in the 70s and 80s that depicted the father figure not as a dependable and honored head of the family, but as a barely tolerated buffoon. It was as if Hollywood needed to completely dismantle the solid, respectable role models from the golden age of television, shown in Father Knows Best, Leave It to Beaver, My Three Sons, and similar beloved programs. Well, this is a good example of a highly influential organization using their platform to push a narrative or rewrite history. And if you think about it, the only good father on TV at that time was Bill Cosby. Look how that turned out. The guys I knew generally swallowed the media malpractice with as much grace as they could muster. But as Christina Hoff Sommers demonstrated, the kids were not all right. Statistics showed over 2 decades ago that boys were having problems in school while girls were flourishing. Part of this has to do with the fact that females are more able to articulate their feelings of anger or upset, and are taught that it's okay to talk, while boys were taught to just be quiet and suck it up. If they dared to express any sort of anger or upset, they were saddled with the label of toxic masculinity. Now, they've known boys were falling behind in education for decades now. Oh well, just a small price to pay as long as these females get what they want. All of this came to a head with the Supreme Court hearings of Brett Kavanaugh. I think that those of us who watched those hearings in real time are still traumatized by what was done to that man. The fact that he was ultimately confirmed doesn't change the fact that a man was set up for destruction, based on entirely on fabrications. He was attacked, vilified, defamed, and abused in a way that no nominee before or since has experienced. His reputation was drawn and quartered, and he became less than human. How soon we forget, right? They tried to crucify Kavanaugh. Why? Because he has a dick between his legs. That's it. When I saw the statistics on male suicide, I realized that the pendulum has swung too far in the wrong direction. I've often dealt with victims of abuse in my immigration practice. And while many have been women, a sizable number have been men. The very first battered spouse petition I ever filed was on behalf of a man who had been threatened with deportation by his U.S. citizen spouse. A woman who joked about how she could lie about him abusing her, and no one would believe if he defended himself. Oh, we all know that threat, don't we? I'll tell him you hit me. You know, the police, the courts will always believe the woman first. Females know it, and they'll do stupid shit like this. March 31st was dubbed International Trans Visibility Day. We say that Black Lives Matter. The entire month of March was devoted to women's history. And June is Gay Pride Month. There are a list of people we want to honor and protect. Judging from the disturbing statistics on suicide, there's an even larger group of people dying literally for some attention. Well, it's sad but true. Men, especially white men, have been publicly targeted, labeled toxic, and deemed useless by the very world that they created. It's insanity. It's easy for me to review these articles or to react to a TikTok. What's hard is to convey my concern for young men today. I hope anyone watching this video who is hurting right now knows that I care about you. And I want you to know that things will get better. Hang in there. I'll have another video tomorrow, so there's that to look forward to. Anyway, that's all I got. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you soon.